p.m. still to come an open house. Not only will we be listening to Roy Walker talking, we'll also be hearing him sing. And you won't see that coming up on Catchphrase. And I hope you don't get too stressed out trying to get through on our busy line today, our stress open line. There's still time to call, by the way. The number is 0171 691 5000. It's always the same. 0171 691. School in Wolverhampton. A man who was later found to be a schizophrenic attacked a group of nursery school children with a machete. Now, the carnage could have been utterly devastating if it hadn't been for the bravery of one young teacher who selflessly put herself between the machete and the children. Now, although suffering appalling injuries herself, it was the direct result of her actions that none of the children died. She's received 18 awards for her courageous act, although she still doesn't consider herself a heroine, but we definitely do. So really give an enormous welcome to Lisa Potts. Hello, Lisa. It's very nice to see you. Would you like to go up to the seat on the other side? Thanks. Well, I know you've been charging around the country just a little bit over the last few days. So very pleased that you came to see us in Open House. Have you found writing your book that chronicles the events, have you found that a cleansing process in itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I decided to write my book because a counsellor said to me, why don't you just write down how you feel? So I started off writing all about the flashbacks and kind of ended up in the book, really. And
so that's helped you a little bit, has it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, just for people who maybe weren't in this country or missed the news events at the time, maybe you would just tell us exactly what happened.
We'd had a teddy bears picnic in the morning and we were having one in the afternoon. We got a lot of children who were visiting for the day to start in the September. So we had this picnic and it went really well and we were tidying up and it was about sort of 3:10 in the afternoon and got all the children to the wall and then all of a sudden I noticed from the corner of my eye this man running along the side of the fence with a bag across him and a knife. And at that point, I thought it was a toy knife because there was no shine on the blade. And then he attacked one of the mums. And then he started to attack two of the other mums. And I just realised at that point, you know, that this is real. There were sort of people screaming everywhere. It was your worst nightmare, really. I'd got children holding onto my legs, clinging onto me. I ran inside and then ran back out for some more children. And then, sadly, I got attacked across the left hand, which, lucky for me, I didn't feel any pain whatsoever.
Yeah, let me just have a look at the injury. So in actual fact, this hand, I guess, was virtually just hanging off here, was it?
Yeah, it was just a total mess. Lucky for me, though, I didn't see it, as I say, because I've got this red cardigan on. And I don't know how, but I lifted more children, ran back inside, and it was very instinctive the whole time. And then as I ran back out, one of the little children was next to me, put my hand across her, and sadly she got cut on the face, which was probably the worst thing for me ever. Just to see this little child of 4 years of age just standing staring at me.
How badly was she cut?
She was cut from the side of her mouth right the way across her face and her ear and her neck. It was just completely unbelievable. And then after that, I kind of ran in for some more children and there was just a point where I'd got 2 children left outside and that was the only time I had to think about what should I do. Should I run off with the 10, 15 children or go out for the last 2? And luckily I went out for the last 2 and as I grabbed the last child he got cut on the head and I got cut then across the right hand. I mean,
did you have even time to think in the middle of this devastation, like what was going through your mind at the time, what thoughts you had, or were you just really concentrating on getting the children?
Yeah, it was just I was just completely focused on I've got to get all these children inside. I didn't really think about myself. I didn't even feel any pain, you see, on both times I was hit. I felt no pain at all. I probably only felt pain when I was stuck inside the actual classroom and he got in the door then and I was sort of in a very small corner and I lay across the children because I couldn't do anything. So I had about 9 children in front of me.
Oh, presumably blood everywhere, basically.
And he hit me across the back and then hit me across the head and that was the only time I felt pain. And at that point I thought, I'm not going to make this, but, you know, luckily I did.
I mean, we were just saying that your scars actually are very good considering the severity of the accident, but what are the mental scars like for you when you've had to live through something like that?
I think that's a lot harder. I mean, for the first 6 months it was just all about the physical scars, but then I started having flashbacks, which was really difficult, especially after the court case. it was so hard because one minute I'd be doing something very normal, like for instance I'd be in the playground with the children and children would scream as children do, and I'd panic and I'd just see the whole lot happening again and
This
again.
was when you went back to school to try and teach?
Yeah.
And could you not stand that pressure then in the end?
No, it came to about May last year and I thought I can't carry on. It was just not healthy really. I wasn't sleeping. There were points where I was like 2 nights without any sleep and I can't keep this up. And so I decided to leave, which was probably the saddest day of all, really.
So we should say that this man had lived in an apartment block opposite the school.
That's right.
And then he's been put away then indefinitely, has he, in a mental hospital?
That's right. He was paranoid schizophrenic. And
do you ever have, I mean, do these flashbacks then bring his face back and everything that he was doing to the children, or how do you see all of that?
I see the children mainly now being attacked. Not so much myself, which is quite strange. I don't really kind of see myself being attacked, but very much so the children. I think that's because I had a lot of problem with guilt, because I felt, you know, if only my hand would have been that little bit higher, the little girl wouldn't have got the cut on her face. And I know that, you know, it's a lot of it's psychological, but that's the main thing what I see. I
know that your family are very committed Christians, and have you ever then subsequently analysed and thought, you know, why that school, why that day, why me?
To be honest, I really try not to. I really sort of sit down and think, you know, I can't think like that. I just see it as that...
But you think that you were maybe meant to be there in some respects?
Well, I do. I see it like on that day, God picked me. For what reason, I don't know. I'm yet to find out. But, you know, maybe my character, I'm not sure, but I believe that God picked me that day and used me.
There've been an awful lot of parents around Wolverhampton very, very pleased that you were there that day. And Lisa, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us about it. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Potts. Well, now we change the mood totally, because whether it's the way I tell them or nice to see you, nice, very good. Every comedian, let's face it, has their own catchphrase, and my next guest, you've seen him earlier in this programme, has had his highly successful catchphrase on television for the last 14 years. So say what you see, as we welcome back Roy Walker.